Hello esteemed users. We'll now demonstrate the step-by-step installation procedure for your gas chromatograph GC. First, we will introduce the key components of the instrument. High-purity nitrogen gas cylinder, air generator, hydrogen generator, chromatograph main unit, computer, accessory kit, gas path connection procedure. First, we will cover the installation of the pressure regulator. Connect the pressure regulator to the nitrogen gas cylinder. Remove the pressure regulator fitting from the accessory kit. Connect it to the regulator outlet port. Apply specified torque to the fitting using an adjustable wrench. Retrieve the following components from the accessory kit: stainless steel tubing, compression nuts, sealing, ferrules, tube cutter. Straighten the stainless steel gas tubing. Cut to the required length. Thread the ferrule and fitting onto the stainless steel gas tubing in the order given. Extend the stainless steel gas tubing 6 to 8 mm beyond the compression ferrule. Connect one end of the stainless steel gas tubing to the GC interface port on the rear panel of the air generator main unit. Connect the other end to the air inlet on the rear panel of the GC main unit. Connect one end of the stainless steel gas tubing to the hydrogen outlet on the rear panel of the hydrogen generator main unit. Connect the other end to the hydrogen inlet on the rear panel of the GC main unit. Connect one end of the stainless steel gas tubing to the outlet port of the gas cylinder regulator. Connect the other end to the carrier gas inlet on the rear panel of the GC main unit. Circuit connection steps. Insert the power cords into the rear power receptacles of the air generator, hydrogen generator, and GC main unit respectively. Connect one end of the grounding conductor to the grounding terminal on the rear panel of the GC main unit. Terminate the other end at the laboratory's designated grounding point. Insert Ethernet cables into the rear Ethernet ports of the GC main unit and computer hosts respectively. Perform leak testing at all connection points. Step-by-step alkaline electrolyte preparation. Pour the prepared alkaline electrolyte into the hydrogen generator's electrolyte tank. Ensure electrolyte level is between the upper and lower level marks. Securely install the outer tank cover. Caution: never install the inner tank cover. Power on the hydrogen air generator. Open main valve of nitrogen cylinder. After opening the cylinder main valve, rotate it counterclockwise an additional half turn. Adjust regulator gauge to 0. 4 MPa. Initiate leak test after both generators reach 0. 4 MPa. Apply leak detection solution to all connection points. If bubbles form, retighten the fitting. If no bubbles appear, the connection is leak-free. Immediately wipe off residual solution after testing. GC column installation procedure. Retrieve the tools required for column installation from the accessory kit. Phillips screwdriver, inch wrench, 8 by 10 mm open-end wrench, capillary column nut, capillary column graphite ferrule, ceramic blade. Open the oven door. This GC model is configured for capillary columns. Secure the column onto the column holder bracket. Thread the column nut and graphite ferrule onto the capillary column. Extend the capillary column approximately 2 cm (0.8 inches) beyond the Attach the column nut to the capillary column inlet, fitting at the bottom of the injector. Tighten the nut with a wrench, then temporarily remove the wrench. This pre-tightening secures the nut temporarily, preventing the column from slipping during final installation. Follow identical steps for the detector end. Using a ceramic blade, cut the capillary column 5 to 6 mm approx. 0.2 to 0.24 inches from the graphite ferrule. Ensure the cut end is clean and flat. Now, install the column into the injector inlet fitting. Tighten the fitting with a 1/4 inch wrench. Caution: apply moderate torque. Over-tightening can damage the fitting or crush the column. Power on the instrument. Check the carrier gas pressure flow readings on the display. Once the pressure flow values stabilize within normal range, perform a column leak test. Immerse the column end into laboratory-grade ultra-pure water. A continuous stream of bubbles indicates proper flow path integrity. After powering off the instrument, connect the column to the detector inlet fitting. Using a ceramic blade, trim approximately 1 cm (0.4 inches) from the end of the column. Ensure the cut end remains clean and flat. Maintain a clean, square cut. Gently slide the column up and down within the ferrule to ensure smooth movement. Insert the column into the detector inlet fitting movement. Hand tighten the column nut. Push the column gently until it touches the bottom stop. Then retract it 1 to 2 mm (0.04 to 0.08 inches). Securely tighten the nut with a wrench. Power on the instrument. Apply leak detection solution to all column fittings. Observe the fittings for bubble formation. If no bubbles appear, the connection is properly sealed. If bubbling occurs, retighten the fitting with a wrench. Overview of instrument display functions. Power on the instrument. After successful self-test, the main interface will load. The left navigation panel switches between functional modules. 7 primary modules are available: Home, Method, Diagnostics, Maintenance, Logbook, System, Help. Home contains 3 subtabs: Flow Path, Status, Chromatogram. Switch tabs via the top navigation bar. Flow Path, real-time gas flow status per channel. Status, additional system parameters. Chromatogram, live detector, signal plotting. Bottom control panel, system status, temperature control, and analysis commands. Yellow, not ready. Green, ready. Red, alarm active. Select method to configure analysis parameters, sections, options, injector, column, oven, detector, events, auxiliary, options. Sync methods via upload, download with workstation. Injectors are categorized into capillary column injectors, packed column injectors. Set inlet temperatures and gas pressure flow rates. Select the column tab to access column configuration parameters. Configure column dimensions, ID length, stationary phase, guard column settings. Navigate to the oven tab for temperature programming. Set initial temperature, C ramp rates, degrees, Celsius U per minute, hold times, min-max temperature, safety limits. Access the detector tab for channel-specific settings. Monitor, adjust. Detector temperature C, gas flows, H air, makeup signal output range. Supported detectors: FID flame ionization, TCD thermal conductivity, UNPD nitrogen, phosphorus, ECD electron capture, FPD flame photometric. Open the Events tab for timed method triggers. Event toggles per channel on OFF indicators. Manually activate deactivate events by clicking the toggle buttons. Select auxiliary for external heating modules. Configure reactors, valve ovens. Access diagnostics via left navigation panel. Zero calibration. Performs sensor calibration for all EPC electronic pressure control gas paths. Self-test verifies critical hardware connections, generates diagnostic report with error codes. Select maintenance to view consumable status. Track usage of component lifespan indicator. Access logbook for system records. Filter by system events, user, actions, alarms. Navigate to System for Configuration. Configuration tab. Factory settings do not modify password protected by default. System settings, date, time, synchronization, automated sequence cycling, language selection, firmware update. IP configuration, Ethernet or Wi-Fi dual stack support. Procedure. Enter IP subnet gateway. Click Apply IP. Select Help for operational guidance. After setting analytical conditions, click Start Temp Program. Instrument initiates temperature ramp. Connect to Chromatography Data System (CDS) now. Status bar turns green when ready state is achieved. Auto-ignition sequence activates FID, FPD, NPD detectors. Manual ignition is also available. Method detector ignite. Successful ignition triggers sharp detector signal increase. CDS baseline shows abrupt rise. Inject samples after baseline stabilizes. Pre-rinse. Syringe 5 to 6 times with sample solvent. Draw 2x injection volume. Orient needle upward gives expel bubbles. Excess sample. Rapidly inject into septum gives fully depressed plunger within 0.5 seconds. Click Start, Run, Acquire. Results auto-populate in CDS after run completion. Gas chromatograph shutdown protocol. After sample analysis completes, click Stop, Run. Power off H-air generator. After the oven temperature drops below 50 degrees Celsius, power off GC instrument. Close the main valve of the nitrogen cylinder. Hello everyone. The following section explains the installation and operation steps of the workstation. First, let me introduce the installation process of the workstation. After inserting the USB drive, double-click to open it. Double-click the installer package to begin installation. Click Next step by step. Select the simple mode for installation. Select the installation path. This path is the system default and generally does not need to be changed. Click Next step by step until the installation is complete. Close the current interface. Insert the hardware dongle. Double-click the workstation software icon to launch the application. After opening the workstation, first check the instrument's IP address. Set the computer's IP address according to the instrument's IP address. Click Network and Internet. Click Ethernet. Edit the Internet Protocol version for IPv4 settings. Modify the computer's IP address to be on the same subnet as the instrument's IP address. Set the first 3 segments of the IP address to identical values and the last segment to a different value. Click OK. Close the current interface. Click Control Panel. Click Settings. Click IP address. Enter the IP address and press the Enter key on the keyboard. The IP address must match the IP address of the chromatograph. After the setup is complete, the workstation status panel will display online, indicating a successful connection. Click Parameters. Click Upload. After data acquisition is complete, the instrument system parameters will be transferred to the workstation interface. If data parameters are modified on the workstation, they need to be downloaded to the instrument. After changing the parameters, click Save. Then click Download. Click the Minimize button to hide the control panel. Overview of workstation icon functions. The main interface of the workstation primarily includes 1. Toolbar. 2. Device status panel. 3. Real-time chromatogram area for a sample injection information section. 5. Method files section. The left section of the toolbar contains channel selection buttons. The middle section consists of layout window buttons. The right section is reserved for other functional buttons. The channel buttons on the toolbar switch the real-time acquisition interface to the corresponding channel. Layout window buttons are used to show or hide other windows. Other buttons include System Settings, LIMS, and additional functions. The leftmost part of the device status panel is the chromatograph status board. It displays both the chromatograph model and online status simultaneously. The middle area shows the flow path status of the current channel. The right section provides instrument status indicators and operation buttons. Elite, start signal acquisition. Finish, stop acquisition, and save the chromatogram. Give up, discard the current acquisition without saving the chromatogram. Snap, temporarily displays the currently acquired portion of the chromatogram in the chromatogram processing section. If shown end is checked, when the stop time is reached, the analysis results will be displayed on the chromatogram processing page. Lower and upper, adjusting these parameters allows the baseline to be displayed at an optimal on-screen position. For easier observation of signal changes, full screen time, Modifying this value changes the time span of the chromatogram displayed on the screen, providing a clearer view of signal variations over time. Y full screen or X full screen, the system will automatically adjust the display area based on the existing chromatogram. Stop time, the time at which the chromatogram is automatically saved after analysis completes. Checking zero forces the current signal value to be adjusted to the 0 point. Checking all displays chromatograms from all channels on the same interface for easy comparison and analysis. Pause can be used at any time to freeze the current chromatogram display, stopping the real-time plotting of incoming signals. Current and time display the real-time signal value and timestamp of the current chromatogram. File name set. The system allows customizable file name generation. The injection sequence number is mandatory and will be automatically incorporated into the file name. Method file. Load a saved method file into the workstation software. The method will be automatically applied to the next analysis and linked to the new chromatogram. The following section explains how to set the save path. Click System Settings. Select the location to save chromatograms. To facilitate later retrieval, it is recommended to check all three folder options below. Device Name Folder, Date Folder, Channel Name Folder. After checking the options, click OK. Click Heat On. The status panel will turn green after the instrument reaches thermal equilibrium. Automatic ignition will be triggered once the instrument is thermally stabilized. Upon successful ignition, the detector flame will turn orange. The signal value will increase, and a baseline jump will appear in the real-time chromatogram area. Adjust the analysis duration based on the peak stop time of the sample. To facilitate observation, set the full screen time slightly longer than the analysis time. Proceed with sample injection after the baseline stabilizes. Quickly click the Analyze button after injection. This can also be done on the instrument display. During analysis, the chromatogram appears in red. Upon completion, it turns blue. The chromatogram is automatically saved to the previously set path after analysis. Click Chromatogram Processing to enter the processing interface. The processing interface is divided into 1. Toolbar, 2. Chromatogram Display Area, 3. Method Settings Area. For Results Display Area, click Open to load the standard sample chromatogram for processing. Click Overlay Open to display multiple chromatograms simultaneously in the same display area. Click Save to save the chromatogram file in the current window. Click Close to close the chromatogram file in the current window. Click File List to perform batch processing operations on files. Click Print to print the chromatogram processing results. Click Print Preview to preview the chromatogram processing results. Click Export to export the current chromatogram report to an Excel spreadsheet. This is the Manual Integration toolbar. It is used for custom integration of specific peaks or regions in the chromatogram. Open the standard sample chromatogram to be processed. To view details more clearly, zoom in on the chromatogram. Click Delete Peak, then click once on each side of the peak to remove the peak information. Click Add Positive Peak, then click once at appropriate positions on each side of the peak to add peak information. Click Use Set. Click Save. Method Settings. The operational steps are the same as those described in the real-time chromatogram section. Results display area includes Result Table, Summary Table, and Column Efficiency Table. Method Development. External Standard Method. Click the Method Development button to enter the Method Setup interface. First, open a processed standard sample chromatogram. Process data from the chromatogram is displayed here. If the chromatogram requires reprocessing, right-click in this area. Select Reset, then click the function keys above to reprocess it. After processing, click Use Set. Click Save. Click Add All Peaks. Enter the component name and concentration. Click each component name to view its correlation coefficient. For the single-point external standard method, the correlation coefficient of each component is 1. The origin treatment option can be selected as needed. These are the operational steps for loading a standard sample chromatogram in the single-point external standard method. The single-point external standard method only requires loading standard sample chromatogram data from one concentration point. The remaining operational steps are consistent with the multi-point external standard method. For the multi-point external standard method, standard sample chromatograms are added sequentially based on different concentration points. The setup process for the multi-point external standard method is as follows. Clear the existing chromatogram information in the method development interface. Create a new component table. Open the processed standard sample chromatogram. Click Add All Peaks for the first chromatogram. This step is mandatory. Enter the component name and concentration. Click Get Correction Factor. Click Increase Level by 1 inch using Roman numeral I for consistency with the original text. Close this chromatogram. Open the next standard sample chromatogram for the next concentration level. Starting from the second chromatogram, click Add Existing Components. Enter the corresponding concentration. Click Get Correction Factor. Click Increase Level by 1. Close this chromatogram. Repeat steps sequentially for all concentration points. After adding all points, review the correlation information for each component. The origin treatment option can be selected as needed. If the correlation coefficient of all components meets the criteria, click Save Component Table. Click Save Component Table. Enter a file name. The file is saved in Cal format data file. Click Save. Click Quantitative Results. Click Open. Locate the data file saved. Click Open. Click Report Template. Fill in the content freely as needed. A maximum of 7 items can be selected for the table content. After completion, click Apply, then click Save As. Enter a file name. The file is saved in MTD format method file. Click Save. Click Real-Time Chromatogram. Click Open. Load the saved MTD format file into the method file section. This method will be automatically applied for the next sample analysis. Internal standard method. Open the standard sample chromatogram to be processed. If reprocessing is required, follow the steps described earlier. Click Add All Peaks. Enter the name of each component. Click the Internal Standard column in the first row. Select the internal standard. Enter the concentration of each corresponding component. After entering, click each component name to view the correlation coefficient. For the single-point internal standard method, the correlation coefficient for all components is 1. Click Save Component Table. Enter a file name. The file will be saved in CAL format data method file. Click Save. Click Quantitative Results. Click Open. Locate the data method file saved earlier. Click Open. Enter the internal standard concentration. Click Report Template. Fill in the print content as needed. The table can include up to 7 items. Click Use Set. Click Save As. Enter a file name. The file will be saved in MTD format. Click Save. Click Real-Time Chromatogram. Open the recently saved method file in the Method File section. Click Use Set. This method will be automatically used for calculation during the next sample analysis. If the internal standard concentration of the actual sample is modified, enter the corresponding actual internal standard concentration value. After making changes, must click Use. This method will be automatically used for calculation during the next sample analysis. Thank you for your attention to this gas chromatograph installation guide.